Welcome to the second edition of Nutrition in the Kitchen. I'm Ann Supa, and I'm a nutrition educator here at Cornell Cooperative Extension. And I am at the commercial kitchen in the Farmers Market on Upper Front Street in Binghamton. Today we are going to make a sausage stuffed acorn squash. I got my acorn squash at Shared Roots here at the Farmers Market. An acorn squash is a great meal that you can make. And today we're going to do a sausage stuffed acorn squash. And first we're going to wash it, and then we're going to cut it in half, and then we're going to scoop out the seeds and the fiber. The fiber is really great in acorn squash, so if you're looking for something that will keep you full during the day, this is a good choice. And you can also roast the squash seeds just like you would pumpkin seeds. Unfortunately, mine are not going to get roasted. They're going to go out to my chickens tonight for their dinner. So the next step, we're going to drizzle some olive oil onto our acorn squash. And we also got to remember, acorn squash has a lot of vitamin A and vitamin C, and something that we need to keep remembering now is acorn squash has a lot of antioxidants. We need those antioxidants going into cold and flu season, and unfortunately we are in a pandemic, so anything we can do to help our immune system is wonderful, and if it comes in the form of a squash, even better. So I'm going to put these in the oven at 400 degrees for 45 minutes just to cook the squash ahead of time. There. And while we are waiting for the squash to cook, we are going to do the filling. The filling is an Italian sausage that we got at Bohr's Bakery. And you would think that bakery would be baked goods, but they also have Bohr goats. And this is a goat meat Italian sausage, and it's something that we don't usually find around here because we usually think of pork, but goat meat is very, very lean, and a lot of countries eat goat versus pork, so that's why we did that. And I sauteed it for a few minutes to brown it up with some garlic. Everything's better with garlic. So next we're going to start combining the food for the filling. So I am going to put 2 cups of blue oyster mushrooms that I got from Southern Tier Fungus Unlimited, an apple that's nicely diced, and I left the skin on. We all need that extra fiber in our diet. A small diced onion and some seasoning. It's a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, a half a teaspoon of salt, allspice, and a 1/4 cup of nutmeg. And we're going to put that on the stove and let it simmer for about 8 minutes and cook up really nice. While the acorn squash was cooking, we mixed up our filling for the acorn squash. Now I'm going to take out the acorn squash, and I'm going to scoop out the squash and add it to our filling mix. And that comes in handy here. We're going to scoop out the acorn squash, and then we're going to add it to our frying pan back there. And we're going to mix this all up and let it simmer. Let all the ingredients mesh together and become soft. So it's going to take you around 8 minutes to do that. But once we get that done, we are going to fill the acorn squash. So we have this, it's all prepared. It has everything all mixed in. It's nice and cooked. So the last step will just really be just warming up the stuffing and the squash. So we're going to go ahead and fill our squash. And you can mound it up there, make it look, because you want to get all this in there. Like that. And then we're going to top it with some Parmesan cheese. So we're going to, once we fill our acorn squash shells, we are going to top it with some grated Parmesan cheese. And I'd like like to share with you that if you don't have shredded Parmesan cheese, go ahead and use the grated stuff. I don't want you running to the store to just grab one ingredient. That really is a waste of your time and energy, and we are in a pandemic and we do not need to be making those extra trips to the store. So we put that in the oven for 375 for 15 minutes, and now we're going to take out our finished product, and we have for you today a sausage stuffed acorn squash with apples, mushrooms, and it is a delightful meal. I would pair it maybe with a piece of bread to go on the side. I hope you will join us next month for Nutrition in the Kitchen.